Hi, everyone. Happy Friday, and welcome to this edition of Balance in Life. I am Crystal Tyler Mackey, happy to welcome you on behalf of the Virginia Cooperative Extension Human Development Program Team and our partners, North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Today, many people are vacationing and taking time off. We're happy that you're spending some time with us here on Friday. We hope you have relaxed time with us. We're going to just kind of talk about spring and some things that we are looking forward to and some ideas for activities and ways that we can do spring. I can't believe we're back at spring again, spring 2021, but here we are. I am joined with some presenters today, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, and we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
So Taylor's going to talk to us a little later today.
And I'm Micah.
Mike is also going to share some springtime activities with us. But first, we're going to get started with one of our colleagues, Chris Allen. Welcome, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. All right.
Chris is going to talk to us about some container gardening. So many of you may do this already, but some of us are looking forward to it. Chris, this is one of the things that Taylor wants to learn how to do. So perfect timing.
All right. So Taylor, let's get started. All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Looks good.
Perfect. All right. So good morning, everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about container garden. This is not something that you have to be nervous about. Let me first boot this up here. We are all 4-H people, so I'm going to skip that slide and introduce myself. We are a small and growing family farm in Chesterfield, Virginia. Our farm name is Fresh Branch Farm. You can see here a little bit of what we do on our farm. We raise
Chris,
chickens.
I'm still just seeing your title slide, hun. For some reason,
Okay.
It's advanced.
All right. How about that?
Yes, perfect.
All right. Okay. Let's start again. So here's a picture of me and some of my tiny friends. This picture was taken in 2018. So with 4-H, we learn best by hands-on, and I can guarantee you that these two little boys sitting next to me are going to remember that they're going to remember everything I talked about chickens today. I think that we were talking about chicken butts, so that's something that is pretty great. So now with this slide, I think we've got it all right. You can see that we are talking about our farm. We are a small but growing family farm in Chesterfield County. We are right off of Woodpecker, so we touch Pocahontas State Park. You can see a little bit about what we do here. You see we raise chickens. We also have cows on our farm. In Farmer Talk, we are a calf cow operation. So we have mama cows, and we AI or artificially inseminate our cows. But my favorite thing that we do on the farm is our sunflowers. We open up our farm once a year for a pick your own sunflower field. And it is my very favorite because I am an introvert at heart. I enjoy being by myself out with my animals. But for 2 weeks a year, I can turn on my extrovert and we get to see all of our family and friends and probably about half of Chesterfield, and they come and they pick all these great flowers. It's really amazing. It's the peak of summer. Everybody's dressed pretty, and everybody's happy to be there. So it's definitely one of the best parts of farming. Okay, container gardening. So this is what we're going to cover: containers, soil, seed, water, and sun. That's 5 things. That's one for each finger. Totally doable. We can do this. So here, what we need to think about first. We need to pick your pot, and there's lots of options. You can go into Lowe's or Walgreens, Target, a yard sale, and you can find just about anything. Some people are real creative and like to find the ones with the little face and can have the hair growing out. That's cute. But here's what I want you to remember, and this is my tagline. I ran it by Bethany earlier. If it doesn't have a hole, it's just a bowl. One of the most important things that you need for your pot is it needs to have a drainage hole. If you can eat cereal out of it, it's not something that you want to put a plant in. The most important part is that the water that you put into it can drain out the bottom. It's a lot of times that will kind of trip people up, is not quite sure when to water it, but if you have that drainage hole at the bottom, you're going to be a-okay. When you are picking your pot, what I want you to do is put something on the bottom over top of that hole. It can be some gravel from your driveway, some mulch from your mulch bed, just something to help filter the water when you do add it. If it's going to be inside, make it cute. If it's going to be outside on your porch, make it something that is a little bit easier and hardier to be outside. All right, soil, next one. Your plant is only going to be as good as the soil that you have. So here's where we don't want to be stingy. I just want you to go straight to Lowe's and buy that big bag of Miracle-Gro garden soil. You can buy the cheap stuff from Dollar Tree. You can go out in your yard and pick a shovel up. It probably will work, but it's not going to be the best for your plant. So you know what? We're just going to make it easy on ourselves. Miracle-Gro, super easy. All right, seeds. This is a fun one. So with your seeds, I want you to choose what you like. If you're a flower person, plant flowers. If you are a tomato person and you like those caprese salads during the summertime, go ahead and plant some tomatoes and basil. If you like it, chances are you're going to take more care of it. And you know what? If seeds feels too overwhelming for you, don't worry about it. Just go buy a seedling somewhere. This is a no pressure sort of thing. So a quick story. I love to save seeds, and wherever I go, I'm always shaking them off and saving them. My garage, I have a little gardening shed, is full of glass jars, and most of them, I'm not real great at writing down what they are. So I'll just plant whatever I have in the spring, and then whatever comes up, that's what I grow. You can be wild and crazy, or you can be one of those people that writes what it is and when you planted it and stick it. So, gardening is what you make it. If you like it, you'll do pretty good at it. All right, water. This one can be tricky and kind of scary for some people, but you don't have to worry about it too much. You're just going to watch the soil. There's lots of tricks that you can do. Whether you dip your finger in it to see if it feels wet, or you just kind of keep an eye on it. I'm not super good at this one. So if I have a plant that sits inside with me, if I know it's going to rain that day, I slip it out on my porch. I just kind of wait for it to rain. If it's drooping, I'm going to water it. If it's raining, I'm going to pop it outside. Not something that you have to stress about. Sometimes people say, oh, you need unfiltered water, but you know what? I just kind of throw whatever I have. If I have a glass of water on my bedside table, that's what it's going to get. No pressure. All right, sun. Since we're growing in containers, this is the best part. You can move your plant to follow the sun. So let's say that Bethany's going to grow her tomatoes outside for her caprese salad. Bethany, what I want you to do is I want you to move your tomato plant to follow the sun around on your back patio. Plants need a little bit of time to get used to the sun. So just like us, they can get sunburn. In the farming world, we say that we need to harden off our plants. So they have to kind of get used to that sunshine. So Bethany, when you're moving your little tomato plant around, you're going to give it a little bit of sun, and then the next day, a little bit more, and then you're going to kind of work it up. Give yourself a week for your plant to get used to that full sun. Most plants will do just fine. And in the summertime, when we're growing all these great veggies or flowers, they do need a full day of sun. So work up to it and then find a nice sunny spot. And if you don't have a sunny spot, just move it around to follow the sun. That's another great thing about container gardening. All right, last one. If you can't fake it, make it. Or if you can't make it, fake it. This one's pretty easy. You know what? It might not work. You might just be one of those people that is not super great at growing things. This is a really adorable craft that I found on Pinterest. You can do this week with your kids on spring break, or your grandkids, or maybe just even for yourself. Just draw a vase and then go outside and pick what's growing in your yard. It's really delightful. It's a great way for us to get outside, to enjoy what we have, and just to be pretty great and find things. All right, I'm going to stop there. Bethany or Crystal, are there any questions in the chat box?
There was one question. Someone was just wondering if you all were going to be open for sunflower picking, and I kind of just jumped in and answered yes. And it's usually in August sometime, just because I know you well. But I suggested they follow you all on social media, because I know that's kind of all of a sudden it's like a pop-up, right? It just depends on a lot of conditions as to the exact timing of it. But it's usually what, a couple of weekends in August, Chris?
Well, it really depends. We as farmers, we watch the Virginia Tech soil map. So we don't plant our sunflowers until the ground is warm enough. So it really depends when we will plant on and what that map tells us. So like Bethany said, it's kind of a pop-up. It depends. We've gone as early as 4th of July and as late as the end of August. We try to hit for somewhere in the middle. We usually do 2 plantings where we have half the field ready for 1 week, and then the next week, the second half of the field is ready. But really the best way to find out is to follow us somewhere on social media. We're everywhere. So Fresh Branch Farm. And again, our farm, we're not doing anything special that everyone else is not doing. I just talk a whole lot more about it. But I'm glad to talk about it. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to shoot me any emails. All right, I am going to stop share, and I'm going to hang around and watch the rest of the presentation. Thanks for inviting me, guys.
While Chris is transitioning over to Crystal, I'm going to let you all know that I'm popping in the chat a link to our YouTube channel for Chesterfield Extension. And Chris has tons of great videos up there, not just about container gardening. So I really encourage you to check it out. They are entertaining, they're fun for the whole family.
Yeah, I love you all's YouTube channel. That's worth checking out. Anybody that wants to do that, be sure to copy that link. There's a lot of good stuff on there.
So Chris, we have a question in our household for you. Well, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
And my daughter said, "Did you just insult yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you know, it is what it is." What's the easiest? And I said, like, really the easiest thing. What are the easiest things to grow in containers?
Well, I would just say start off with what you like. What is something that y'all like to eat in your household? And then go with that. If you really like tomatoes or lettuce, that's what you're going to follow up and give the most attention. Flowers are always nice. Sunflowers, you can just pop in. Sunflowers will grow from seed until bloom. It takes 60 days. So that's just 2 months.
Yeah. All right, we might try something Taylor's been asking for a while. So I asked my co-presenters today, I think it was not just under a year ago when Bethany was on with Zona and her daughter, and we're talking about some activities that they were doing together. So my daughters have joined me today, and I asked them to share some of the things that they're looking forward to doing in the spring, in hopes of, you know, generating some other thoughts and ideas out there for you. So Taylor's going to go first. Taylor?
Well, I love just explore nature and walk around to a local park and just look at all the pretty animals.
You really like birds too, right?
Yes.
That's one of my favorites too. I really love walking in the woods and in the park and all around the lake, especially if it's some water. I'm with you on that one.
And I love climbing trees at the parks and at our yard.
So Bill Worrell, I don't know if you're on today, but nod out to you, friend. They love the trees.
And we love playing music. And we have our own music room in our house. So we do a lot of family music activities.
That's a nod to you, Mr. Macklin.
Yes, indeed. I'd do that all day, every day if I could. Music is good for the soul, especially when you're on lockdown. It's nothing like singing a song. It's one of the Native American cliches is that, you know, the more you sing, the longer you'll live. So keep on singing.
Great. There you go, right? Yeah. And Taylor wanted to be very explicit to do things that are not on a screen. Do you remember what you said?
Yes, because almost everybody is on screens all the time. Like we're on screens right now.
Good point. So she wanted to do some non-screen activities. And you have one more slide.
And I love playing tennis and other games with my sister and my family.
So we were doing driveway tennis when the parks were closed down. So, I mean, you got to chase the balls a little further, but it's still fun, right?
Yes.
All right. So these are some of the highlights just to spark some ideas, you know, for you that are non-screen activities, because to her point, we're on the screen right now, but hopefully this is going to spark some other ideas. Right, Micah?
One of my favorite things to do, especially in COVID times, is reading a good book. Right now, I'm reading the Spy School series by Stuart Gibbs, and I really like that. It's really interesting, so it gives me something fun to do off of the screen. And I also like doing bike riding with family and friends. This was in my sister's birthday party. We decided to go bike riding with our friends, and that was really fun. I also like trying new recipes and buying new ingredients because I find it really fun to get things in the house that we wouldn't normally have. Like before COVID, we didn't even have flour or sugar in the house, and we would just buy stuff. We wouldn't even like make stuff at all. So we got to try something new with that.
She's been using a lot of flour, actually. She likes to make things from scratch. You want to say what you made this morning?
Oh yeah, I made muffins and cream cheese frosting.
How did you make the muffins?
Oh, I used protein pancake batter instead of flour.
Doing some exploring that we hadn't done before COVID times.
And I also like doing family fun activities. Every Friday is family fun night, and we sometimes watch a movie or we do a craft or something, and that's always fun. And this time we were doing a garage camp, and we made s'mores in the stove and roasted marshmallows over the stove. It was a lot of fun.
So, Mike, one of the things you said you like to do is family fun activities, just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we set this up in the garage. So we're kind of, you can look down and see, we weren't even on the grass in this picture. We were in the garage, what we needed to do, but it was pretty fun. We had a scavenger hunt outside, and we made the s'mores inside, but then we brought them outside to give sort of the camp-ish feel. Get the spray, because you know the mosquitoes were out. And I think, Taylor, you have been digging and replanting some worms and
Yes.
slugs that you found. She likes to explore bugs too. So just a couple things that we like to do in the outdoors.
That looks like fun. We actually set up the beach chairs and the umbrella and all of that in the living room, moved all the furniture to the side, and made a oceanfront spot right there in the living room. And we had the ocean on the TV, on the YouTube, the ocean coming in, the waves coming in and all. And so we were at the beach in the living room. Packed a lunch, and my wife made lunch and all this stuff. And so we did everything we would normally do at the beach, but be on the beach.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed.
That sounds great. So Bethany, what about you? What are some things you picked up, activities you've either done more of, or some different things you've done doing this year?
Well, all I could talk about, because it's on my brain, is that we are leaving for a trip tomorrow and taking a spring break. And this is it's just the girls, which is myself and my daughter, and my two stepsons and husband are not invited. It's been a tradition since she was little. and it got canceled last year. We weren't able to go, and we took it in stride, but we are very excited to go. And so it's a cautious traveling. We're going into the mountains, into a little cabin all by ourselves, and it's right along a couple of different national parks with tons and tons of trails. So we're gonna be isolated, but we're going to be in a different state and out of our house, and that's what matters. So we're just really excited to do that. But I think most importantly, you know, I feel like we are appreciating it even more because of what we've gone through, and I could say that for a lot of just little things that we took for granted that are slowly coming back into our lives and that we're appreciating a lot, and realizing that we are very blessed and fortunate that we get to take that trip and not everybody gets to. So just very grateful for that. And we are taking our yoga mats and we'll be practicing mindfulness and gratitude while we're there as well. So that is what I'm looking forward to.
That sounds like fun.
How about you, Herman? Are you taking some time?
Well, no, I haven't planned on doing anything yet. I'm hoping that, you know, I can get out after July. Maybe things will have, you know, maybe we'll be a little bit more ready to go out and do something, because we're still kind of hesitant about going somewhere and staying in a hotel and things like that. You know, even though they have the doors sealed with a piece of tape, nobody's been in here. Still feels a little funny going out without, you know, just being in another place where someone else has been, just still have that germaphobic thing going on. So, but I try to get out, and, you know, my wife and I go out walking quite a bit and try to get out like that. And so we're planning to do stuff during the summer. My biggest thing that we got going on, we do plan to do 4-H camp, and that's going to be the week of July 5th. So that would be my first big outing with people. And so I'm shaking in my shoes about that one, but we're going to pray that it's going to be okay. Hopefully I'll get a shot before I go.
Sounds like we might need Herman. We may need to have Alan back on for another session to, you know, help get us centered and ready for, you know.
I'm going to tell on Herman right now. Herman called me yesterday and said, "Oh my gosh." And I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? He's like, "Just hug me on my leg." But then he reflected and he's like, "But it was nice. That's the first human contact I've had other than my wife in a year and a half."
Exactly.
It's just those little things. We used to hug students and get hugs all the time, and now it's like, no, get away.
Yes, yes. Well, speaking of get away, I've got another program going on at 10:30 that I've got to get ready for, so I'm going to jump off. This has been fun. All of you, the presenters have been great. I've loved listening to your stories about the camp and walking in the park and stuff like that. That was absolutely great. It makes I want to get outside as soon as I get off Zoom, even though it's cold. So y'all take care.
Yeah, wait. Bye. Have a good weekend, Herman.
Okay, you too.
So for the others, what are some of your, you know, things you're looking forward to do in this spring, things you like to do? Just, you want to pop some of those ideas so we can hear and learn from each other.
There's a lot of baking going on in the chat. A lot of baking that's making me very, very hungry right now. And I'm sad that I missed out on muffins at your house. You picked strawberries. Yeah.
Yes.
Someone else is saying they're motivated to plant now. So Chris, kudos. You've given some inspiration.
Remember, if you can't make it, just fake it.
Just
go ahead and take yourself up to Lowe's and buy something, put it in a pot.
Chris, I love cilantro. Can I grow cilantro in a container?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Herb gardens
remember,
are pretty easy.
When you're growing any type of herbs, always pick the tallest, and that way it will continue to grow from the bottom up. So that's your hint.
You hear that? Thank you. That's a good hint.
And I will say shout out for farmers markets sometimes have seedlings depending on your vendors. And I know for this year at the Chesterfield Farmers Market, that's one of the projects that our Master Gardeners is working on, having some take home seedlings for people to plant too. Because, you know, sometimes we get later and they're like, oh, I've missed my chance. It's too late on the ground. But there's all sorts of options, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
it's never
Chris.
too late. Just go for
Right.
it.
Chris, I want you to answer this question out loud that I saw you responding to in chat. Dollar Tree seeds. Chris, did I not say this to you before we went live? Did I not say Dollar Tree seeds? There's a
Dollar
question
Tree
posted.
seeds will work just about any. Your germination rate might not be as best, which means that all the seeds might not grow. But you know what? Just give it a try. This is a no stress sort of thing. It's really great to get outside, get your fingers in dirt, even if you're just on a patio or your balcony. That's good for the soul. Just give it a try.
Good. As people are posting, I have another question for you, Chris. So Chris, we're not that far from the same state park where your farm is, but that means nice little, wildlife like to make their way into the yard. We got cute little bunnies, and we've got lots of deer, and they eat the things. So,
So
what can we do?
my mama taught me to grow enough for everybody. So we plant enough for the deer and enough for me. You just got to coexist, and that's what we try to do on our farm. We don't try to get rid of everything, because then they would just it wouldn't be a perfect ecosystem that way.
Yeah, we want the ecosystem. I just want to know if I have one little container of cilantro, like what do I do?
So since it's in a container, move it up close to your house so that those deer aren't going to be brave enough to get on your porch. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's what I need to know, because I grew up in the city. I'm learning this life.
You'll do great.
Not that you couldn't grow it in the city, but we did it. It wasn't something that I knew. We know more now. We got a whole lot of urban ag things happening now, but not a space I knew. All right. Any final thoughts, Chris, Bethany, things you want to respond to? Bethany, see any other questions you need to pull out of the chat?
No
For your
questions. Go ahead, Chris.
For your farmer weather update, it's going to be kind of chilly, but this will be our coldest day this week. So after this, it's going to start getting warmer. So I hope everybody gets outside and gets a little sun on their skin.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people are just sharing what they've grown or what they're hoping to grow, and just a lot of returning to the outdoor kind of stuff. Man, good for the soul for sure. So
yeah.
fun session. Thank you.
It is a fun session. I know there's a lot of master gardeners on, so we know this might not be new information for you, right? Container gardening, that's what you do, but we hope it was fun, and just a nod to spring is here. Things are, days are longer. We have more sunlight. It's getting a little warmer. So what are the things that we can do and just enjoy that spring is here? My kids are out of school today through next week. So while I have a few things that will still be on the calendar, I'm going to try to take advantage of the fact that they are home and just do some fun activities. We've got, can you hear me that? We've got some arts and crafts things we're probably going to do. It's a little bit colder. My kids like to paint. So we got, a few little paint supplies around and just enjoying the time. We're not traveling, but we are still going to enjoy just some staycation, fun things that we can do at home. So I urge you all to do the same. Do things that are going to rejuvenate you, refresh you, that are going to be low key. If it's stressful to travel, like Herman said, don't travel. Do things that are good. And Chris, I like the fun, the outdoors. There is something cathartic about getting your hands in some dirt and doing some of those. So I will commit to trying a couple of containers. My nugget that I posted earlier, which I love that, right? If it doesn't have a hole, it's just a bowl. Right?
It'll be easy to remember.
We can remember that. So, and we also are looking forward, I see some people posting, they're looking forward to the sunflowers. You might have a whole new crowd this time, Chris. So
bring it on. We'll be glad to meet all the new friends.
Yes, spring is here. So Chris, it's been a pleasure to have you on with us, my kiddos. It's been a pleasure to have y'all on. They get to hear us in the background, but they've never been on. So I'm glad that they were able to join us today and share from their perspective as a 9 and a 12-year-old, the things that they are looking forward to doing this spring. So I hope that you all have a great weekend, whatever it is you're going to do. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week, and we will see you all here next week, except for Bethany. She will be relaxing.
I'll be thinking of you though.
Yes. So same time, same place, different topic. We're actually scheduled to have Dr. Travis Mountain come on and talk about, finances and where we are and some tips and strategies in the financial arena and, answer questions that we might have with that. So having said that, thank you all. Appreciate you being here. Bethany, safe travels to you and your
Thank
daughter.
you.
Have fun. Chris, a pleasure. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.